Before we start, I've been requested to make an order that our official transcribers make available the running record on a daily basis, and I so order.
As completed.
You still under oath?
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam, thank you, Madam.
Yes.
Sorry. Madam, you still have a copy of your statement in front of you, Exhibit M.
So I've got the transcriptions over here.
I'm talking about your statement.
I haven't
it's
got
coming
the
back to you.
statement.
Just bear with me. I've read through your statement.
Yes, I've read through my statement.
And I do not find in your statement a place where you condemn this version as not, that it cannot be.
Milady, I just want to make certain, are you referring to what I said to my husband that morning when he called? No, all the details not in this statement, so...
Yes. It drives me to draw an inference that subsequent to your statement until the time that you come to give evidence with all the, including negative media coverage of Mr. Pistorius, that you come to court and you wanted to make it quite clear that from your perspective his version could not be, meaning could not be true.
Milady, I didn't alter my what I heard. The media did not alter what I heard. No.
Now, I'm going to hand to you and to the court and the learned assessors a copy of your husband's statement, not to prove the truth of your husband's statement, but to show to the court, or to demonstrate to the court, the remarkable similarity. And why I'm going to submit that it cannot be that you independently gave your version, because a mere comparison of the two statements would clearly show that it's just too similar. That's the process that I'm going to follow. I have underlined the similarities, and 3/4 of the statement is underlined, but it's no need to underline. I'm going to take you paragraph by paragraph where you keep that statement, your statement next to you, and then your husband's statement, which I mark, hand up as Exhibit N, my lady, for Nelly. And then to ask you questions about this independency.
You said it's Exhibit N.
Exhibit N, thank you, my lady.
Thank you.
Now, if you look at your husband's statement, it starts with, in paragraph 1, ek is 'n volwasse man, I'm an adult male, ID number, residing there and there, cell number so. Let's stop there. Let's go to yours. It's like a template, just I'm adult female, ID number so-and-so, residing so-and-so, and a telephone number. Which telephone number appears on your statement that was deleted?
My cell phone number, and there's one that was taken out, which was my husband's
Yes.
cell phone.
If you go to your husband's statement, you see the cell phone number 083 258 9288.
Lady, I can absolutely explain this.
Yes.
I'm not in the force. I'm not a professional at taking down testimonies. So this is the way the police starts it. The ID number, whatever, where you live. So Captain van Aert wrote down he asked me, are you a woman? What's your ID number? You live here, and the cell phone. He wrote that down. Because that's the way the police does it.
He wrote your husband's cell phone number down.
Yes, he had both our numbers he had available.
The only way he could write to you, one of the more understandable ways, he could write it down. Because he had that statement right there. That's what I'm going to show to the court, paragraph by paragraph. It's as if the one was predominantly used as a template for the other one. Even the cell phone number.
My lady, I spoke and I explained everything to Captain van Aert as it happened, and that took a long time. And then when we wrote the testimony, he took it down and he said, "Is this what you're saying?" I said, "Exactly as I explained it." And he wrote it down, and I read through it, and I said I agree to that, and I signed it.
Yeah, the fact is, even in that first paragraph, there was first your husband's cell number, which appears in his statement, was in your statement and then deleted and substituted with yours.
Yes, so that first paragraph, Captain van Aert, did not actually, I did not say exactly I am a volwassen vrou, because that's the way the police starts it. So he says, are you a woman? He writes it down. I had to state that this is my ID number. He wrote it down. And he had a way of writing woonagtig. I'm not a professional at taking down this. So the police have a way, they want your ID number and where you live.
That's not the point. We go paragraph by paragraph to show you the striking similarity. The second paragraph, his statement. On the 13th of February 2013 at about 21 hours, my husband and I went to sleep. His, yours. On 13 February 2013, my husband and I went to sleep at about 21 to 22 hours.
Yes, Melanie, there is a difference.
Only a time.
There is a difference, yes, the time difference.
Yes, let's go on. My slaapkamer is op die eerste vloer van die huis. My bedroom is the first story of the house. His statement. Die slaapkamer is op die eerste vloer aan die kant van die Silverwood landgoed. Then, yours. My bed is bykans teen die venster wat oop was, meaning the window was open. That's the next crucial point.
Yeah.
Yours, the window was open. The next crucial point.
Yes, sir, we were in the same bedroom. The same bed, same window.
Yes, I'm not talking about whether you were in the same or different bedrooms.
But those are the facts, sir.
It follows that you remember in the same paragraph as his to say the same things, to say, this is when I go to bed, this is where my house was, this is where my bedroom was, and my window was open. The same paragraph as in the paragraph.
Yes, my lady, that's as Captain van Aert asked us.
Yes.
What did you do that evening? What time did you go to bed? It's the same facts.
Let's go to the third paragraph. Gedurende die nag het ek wakker geword. That's how it starts. You can read. How does yours start?
It's the same. I say a vrou wat gil, and he speaks about persoon se gille.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just read the first sentence.
There's similar words, but some of the facts.
Let's just start. It's a template and change slightly. Gedurende die nag het ek wakker geword. That's paragraph 3. Look at his paragraph, your paragraph 3. Gedurende die nag het ek wakker geword. It's exactly the same, and then a slight deviation, but the same message.
Milady, I do see that some of the facts do differ.
Yes.
But yes, we heard the same stuff. The facts do differ.
Ek het vinnig uit die bed geklim, he says. Your husband. My man wat ek wakker geword het, uit die bed gespring. Same
lady, that's what he did.
template, yes,
Yeah.
yes, same template. En na die balkon gehardloop. En hom, you say, en na die balkon toe gehardloop. Running to the balcony.
As Milady, and just after that, there's some differences I do see.
Yes, of course, madam, there are some differences.
Yes.
But you don't need absolute extra qualifications to see the striking similarity. And I'm going, of course there's some small differences, but every paragraph, it's as if, and that's what I'm putting to you and I'm asking you, as if his statement was lying next to the captain, and he takes that paragraph and he says, all right, there's your husband's paragraph, now let's look at yours. And if you take it, that's the point I'm making, you can take your time. I don't want to bore the court. The statement is there. Paragraph by paragraph, the similarities are striking.
Milady, yes. It was the same sequence, more or less. We were in the same house. We went to bed at the same time. We woke up more or less the same time.
How?
There are some facts that are different, and so some facts will be the same, but some will differ.
How is it possible to have striking similarities paragraph by paragraph if his statement was not used as a template? How is that possible?
Milady, Captain van Aert asked us about the sequence of events. So he would ask me, what time did you go to bed? So I say, I went to bed 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10. My husband, I don't know what he did. I wasn't with my husband, but he asked me the sequence of events. I answered them, and he took them down. So I answered on the questions asked. So the sequence was the same as my husband's sequence. We heard the same, more or less, the same thing.
It's just all I'm saying. I'm not taking it any further than that. It is remarkable and it is striking. And I'm not going to deal with every paragraph because it's there for the court to see. If you go paragraph by paragraph, but for some differences that I understand, it is as if, and it leaves in my mind the only probable inference, that his statement was the template, and that was then used, and then your statement was then taken from you.
The lady, that's not how it happened. Captain van Aert has got integrity.
You know, even talking about the call. The call was at 3:16, and the duration 58 seconds. Yours, the call was 3:16, duration 15.
The lady, it was asked.
What paragraph is that?
That was paragraph 8 and the one in paragraph 9. It was 9 in Exhibit N, my lady, and it's paragraph 8 in the witness's statement.
Milady, it was asked about the call. It was the same call. There was only one call. It was 16 minutes past 3, and the duration was 58 seconds. So the information is similar because it was the same call for me and for my husband.
Yes. Let's look at the paragraph that I debated with you in paragraph 6, your statement, paragraph 6, where you were giving some interpretations in the court. He starts off differently. He says that he didn't try to phone anyone again.
Excuse me, sorry, what paragraph?
I'm sorry, ma'am, his paragraph 6.
Yes, Exhibit N.
His paragraph is Exhibit N and also your paragraph 6. It's a different sentence introduction. He says that after he says he went to the balcony, after the first sentence, he says he went to the balcony, paragraph 6, and you say, my man is weer uit na die balkon, he went to the balcony. After the first sentence.
Yes, my lady, that's true, but it must be seen in context with all the rest of the paragraph.
Yeah, let's
that
go on.
differs.
Let's take your paragraph 6. The second sentence. Your husband. Ek het die vrou gehoor gil. I heard the woman screaming. Your sentence. Ek hoor die vrou gil. I heard the woman scream. En toe 4 skote. Your husband. En toe 'n sarsie skote gehoor. That and two. Ek het nie getel nie. I understand there's a difference. He thought it was 5 to 6. You were 4. Then we go on. His statement. Die laaste gil. If you go down. Die laaste gil, the last scream or the yelling, was just after the last shot. Plus minus 1 to 2 seconds. In Afrikaans. Die laaste gil was net na die laaste skoot. Plus minus 1 tot 2 sekondes. In jou statement. Die vrou die laaste gil gegee. Ongeveer 2 sekondes na die skoot opgehou het. You see what I mean? I can take you to all the other paragraphs as well. It's striking.
Milady, that's what I heard, and I'm glad to hear my husband heard exactly the same.
I'm afraid that is not too honest. You know what he's saying. It's not glad to hear. It's not new. You know that.
So I did not read this statement.
Yes, of course not. Of course not.
My lady, I object to that remark that Mr. Root just made. It's sarcastic and it shouldn't be made. And he should
I
apologize
agree.
I
to the
withdraw
witness.
that. I apologize.
I agree.
My lady, it's absolutely right.
Yes.
I agree. I apologize. Let's now look at reliability, dealt with credibility. Do you know, and I've dealt with this yesterday, but I will be more detailed, what it sounds like when an English willow wood, that's a cricket bat, that's what it's made of, makes hard contact against a Meranti door. That was the door, the wooden door that they Meranti door. Do you know what it sounds like?
Milady, I've never heard that, no.
So, am I not correct that you cannot say if you're a distance of 177 meters away and you're inside your house and there's something happening in a house 177 meters away, that a cricket bat, when someone hits a cricket bat, that it would not resemble gunshot wounds. That sound would not resemble.
Milady, I've heard gunshots before.
I know.
What
You
I
say
heard
that.
was gunshots.
I know you say you heard gunshot wounds, and I've dealt with your experience going to a shooting range once when you were young and so on. That I know. I'm saying something completely different. Can you say that when you hit the cricket bat, that type of cricket bat hard against a Meranti door, that sound would not resemble a sound sounding like a gunshot?
Milady, I can't think it will sound the same, but only an expert in sound will be able to verify that. But I don't think so.
But you don't know.
I doubt it.
But you don't know. Oh, you will not make that concession.
I really can't see that a bat and a gunshot sounds the same.
Why? What is your expertise?
A gunshot is extremely loud.
And how's a
Travels.
bat? Is that not extremely loud when you hit the door? If you don't know it, is it not extremely loud?
Well, I'm sure it's loud, but I think if I have to hit a bat against the door and I have to pull a trigger here in the court, the gunshot will be louder than the cricket bat.
Talking 177 meters away. Do you know what it sounds like?
I know what a
when you-
gunshot sounds like 177
I know
meters
that.
away.
That's what you believe. Do you know what it sounds like when you hit a bat hard against a Meranti door? Do you know what it sounds like?
No, milady, I've never hit a bat against a Meranti door.
Do you know what it sounds like when the accused, Mr. Oscar Pistorius, is anxious and he screams? Do you know if it sounds like a woman or not?
Milady, I never heard him screaming. I only heard him calling for help. I only heard a man calling for help, that's all.
Do you know what it sounds like, or if you never heard him screaming?
I've heard Mr. Pistorius, if he's the person in that house with the gunshots. I've heard him call for help. I've never heard him screaming.
Maybe you did, that you didn't realize it was him.
Milady, that was definitely a female I
Yes.
heard screaming.
Of course, I understand what you're saying. Now, the next one. You denied yesterday that what could have woken you were the gunshots. You said when you woke up, you heard the sounds of a woman screaming. You remember?
That's correct, that's what I heard.
The reason why you say there could not have been gunshots that actually woke you up, because you wouldn't know you were sleeping, was because according to you, the only 4 shots were fired and that you heard. That's your reason.
Yes, I heard 4 shots.
That's your reason giving. Because we know you slept. The reason why you say that is not that woke me up, because I know as I stand here that his version is that he fired 4 shots and I heard 4 shots. Therefore, it could not have woken me.
Milady, I know gunshots, I heard them after the call. Yes, I did not hear other gunshots. I only heard 4 gunshots.
We've gone through the cricket bat and that you don't know the sound that it would make. But that, I'm just getting the reason why you're saying it. You're satisfied with that?
Yes, I only heard 4 gunshots.
I want to put to you some parts of his version. And please just try to stand back and listen to it objectively. And I know you have your ideas. You made that quite clear. But just listen to it. Because it reminds me, when we study about reliability, how this eminent English barrister identified persons who robbed him, and he was absolutely confident. And it was shown in court it was not them. That's what they teach us when it comes to reliability, that we must be careful. So what I'm asking you, just stand back for a moment. His version is, after the shooting, and when it dawned upon him that it might have been Reeva, he opened his bedroom sliding doors. He did other things as well, but I'm dealing with vis-a-vis your evidence, and shouted for help, amongst other things. And we say that's the help that you heard. That is the help that you heard. Any comment?
Milady, I'm wondering how that would be possible, because just before he shouted for help, the female shouted for help.
Yes, that's your interpretation, because
It was distinctly two different voices. I could hear it very clearly.
I understand you're not a voice expert and you cannot say that. But what I understand is, in your mind, it's a woman's voice to one, it's different to the man's. I understand that. I'm talking about him shouting. He was anxious. And what we say to you, but that's not what I'm dealing with now. That other voice was also him, where it pitched. But I'm dealing with a different point. He shouted help to the outside. All we know in your version, you did hear a man shouting help. Not so?
I did hear, yes.
We also know one thing. In terms of your version, it would make no sense when a man is about to kill and then killed his girlfriend, for him to shout help. It would not fit into that scenario. Not so.
Milady, I think the reasons and the feelings should be asked to Mr. Pistorius if he takes the stand.
I'm not asking about the feelings and the reasons. I put to you a very fair question. And if you don't want to answer it, we'll draw our inferences. And I'll submit it to the court.
Please, can you ask the question again?
The court would just bear with me. I just received a note now. Just a second. I apologize for that, but I just received a note and distracted.
No, that's fine.
Just on objective facts. If there's a man about to kill his girlfriend with a firearm, she runs away, seeks safety in the toilet, and he shot her. One thing that's inconsistent with that is a man in that same house during that time period shouting for help, to the extent that you also reconcile that shouting with people being attacked in a house. It's inconsistent. That's all I'm saying.
It was part of the sequence of events.
Yeah, I'm asking you something else. I'm not asking you part of the sequence. If you have a difficulty to make any concession, that's fine. I'll argue to the court.
So what are you
asking? It's
asking?
Inconsistent to those facts sketched to you.
Milady, I can only think that Mr. Pistorius must answer why he called for help. I was not there.
Madam.
I can just say why.
Madam,
what I heard.
You know,
I don't know. She shouted for help. He shouted for help. I don't know why he did that.
all that I get from your answer, and I put it to you because I'm going to argue to the court. Sometimes when it's an obvious concession, you will still not make that, insofar as in your mind you think that may assist the accused, you will still not make even an obvious concession. That's your evidence. Because to me it's obvious. But you will not do it, because it might be good for him. That's you as a witness. That's what I put to you. Do you want to comment on that?
Lady, I'm as honest as I can be to the court. I'm just saying what I heard. And I'm giving my story as clearly as I can.
Shall I ask you a last time and then move on and see if you're willing to consider that?
No.
On a version that a man has a gun, he wants to kill his girlfriend, he wants to shoot her. She runs away from him, she hides in the toilet, and he shot her through the toilet door. One part of your evidence is inconsistent of your observations, what you heard. And that is a man shouting for help in that series of events, to the extent that also that shouting caused you to think they were attacked and there was a housebreak.
The lady, afterwards, after I heard what happened, the only thing I can now sit and ask is, was it a mockery? I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not Mr. Pistorius. I do not know. I cannot answer on behalf of him.
You've
I
answered.
don't know.
I'm very happy with your answer, because that's what I'm going to argue. You will even call it a mockery other than to make an obvious concession. That's what I put here. You will even go so far, ma'am, to call it a mockery with no facts, just not to make a single concession that can help that man. That's your evidence.
This witness is now badgered and saying, you called it a mockery. She was asked for an opinion. She gave an opinion. If the counsel doesn't like the opinion, he should carry on, madam. Madam, I apologize sincerely. Milady, I apologize.
Yeah, that's fine.
It should carry on, milady.
That's fine.
But that question has now been answered.
Yes.
We should move on.
Yes, Mr. Roo, I really think you have exhausted this.
I will. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
I've made a point. Thank you, ma'am. Madam. Taking you again back to the events, the parts that I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to invite your comment. You can make concessions or you can not do it. You're welcome. I dealt with him opening the sliding door and screaming for help. And you heard a man screaming for help. Then what I say to you, on his version, there came the stage where this man, Mr. Pistorius, is in that bathroom with his cricket bat. It's his version. Realizing now the horrible events, realizing there's a problem with Reeva in that toilet. It's now fetched his bat to break open that door. That was a stage of heightened anxiety. It was the pinnacle, it culminated. And he was screaming. And what's important is this. He was standing in his bathroom where the bathroom window facing in the direction of your house was open. And he was screaming. He was absolutely anxious. What I put to you is when you heard that anxious screaming, why the sound would travel, it was because it was not in a locked toilet, not in a toilet with a closed window and a closed door, but it was in a bathroom with an open window facing in your direction. And it was him screaming. Absolutely anxious. I take it, and you can answer that. Your answer is you heard a woman.
Milady, but shortly after the shouts died out, so
I'm coming to that point. Is that your only answer to that?
That's how I heard it. I heard the gunshots, and then slightly after that, is the last time I heard the female.
What I want to say to you, to get to your version, and we have consulted with medical experts, but I didn't have to, because we have the ballistic expert of the state when he spoke about, and when he will speak about, but when he spoke about his statement about the shots. We know it was 4 shots. And 2 things that I put to you. The total impact of that shot would not have allowed her to scream. I want to add one thing extra. In fact, the state witness tells us, Mr. Mangena, with the headshot, she would have dropped down immediately. And I will go on with the responses thereafter. That's what I put to you.
My lady, if Mr. Chris Mangena is quoted as saying, with the headshot she would have dropped down, can we just see that? Could that be shown in Chris Mangena's statement?
I would have hoped that the state had read his statements, but I'll show you.
No, it's only too fair that it's done, even for the court's benefit.
Yes, of course, my lady.
Yes.
For the court's benefit, I would do it.
Yes.
It is, I will read it, my lady. It is page 52, A74, paragraph 18.1.4. I read, when the other bullet hit and penetrates the left middle finger, her hand was most probably covering her head. The same bullet penetrated her head and fragmented on impact. Some fragments of this bullet were recovered during post-mortem in the head, and the other fragments exited and hit the wall at mark G. After this wound was inflicted, the deceased dropped immediately towards her right side with her head on top of the toilet seat.
My lady, I think... Excuse, mag ek
Yes, before you answer that, Mr. Nell.
My lady, that should be read. One should start earlier. One have now taken 1 paragraph. One should start earlier. And that's been my issue with cross-examination from the start. Let's start earlier. I know that's in there, but earlier it says, the first bullet hit the deceased in the right thigh. So the second bullet hit the wall, mark F. It missed. The third bullet hit the deceased as she was still seated position on the magazine stand, and that was a bullet, the one in the shoulder. The fourth bullet hit her in the head. She then down. That's it. If that is good, then I don't have a problem. But it should be as it was said.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Roux.
I have 3 answers, my lady. The one is, it is there what I put. The second one is, we will debate the sequence of the bullets. That's not important now. And I've also put as part of the sentence that I consulted medical specialists, and the state has as post-mortem, that there was serious brain damage. And our evidence will be that a person with that brain damage will have no response, no cognitive function, no thought process. That's all coming in. That's what I put to this witness. And that will be coupled to the evidence of the accused, what he found, and whether there was any response, and all the events. So all I put to this witness, when you talk about the screaming, whatever interpretation after the last bullet, it cannot be on our case, on the expert witnesses. It cannot be. She could not have screamed.
My lady, as I stated yesterday, I heard her voice just after the last shot. It faded away. As I also stated yesterday, it could have been with the last shot. With the last shot, she shouted. The shot goes, she's shouting the same time. Her voice carries. It was just afterwards was the last time I heard her.
Yes. All I put to you there is this. Both you and your husband talk about 1, or you said 2, and 1 to 2 seconds after the last shot. That's quite some time. The last scream, 1 to 2 seconds after the last shot. And all I do, you can disagree. All I say to you that we will present evidence that A, there was no such scream, and B, there could not have been such scream.
Milady, I stated in my statement, ongeveer, approximately 2 seconds. So it could have been a half second, 1 second, 2 seconds. As I stated before, I wasn't there with the stopwatch.
Yes. What I also put to you, that on the reliability, on your version, with reference to what you termed as the increase in trepidation, in anxiety, on your version, all you had was a moment before the shots to hear it, then shots that would mask, on the very least on your version, the emotions and the sound of the screaming. And on your version, it happened when Reeva was inside a toilet with a closed toilet door and a closed window. That's what I say. What do you say to that?
Lady, as I stated before, the emotions that I heard that were very intense, the climax of the emotions were just before the shots.
That's all I say. We know it was moments. You described it as very short moments. You were able, I just try to understand what you're saying to the court. You were able, 177 meters away, on your version, to interpret 3 things, because I've looked them up. The one is emotion in her voice, increased intensity, fear to the extent that you could hear she was really threatened. All in that moment, on your version, before the shots, that moment, when she was, we know, on your version, in a locked toilet with a closed window. That's your version.
Yes, my lady, moments, as I said, moments before the shots, I heard her terrible screams. I could hear the emotion. And it's very quiet. Also, as I stated, in our area, I hear the jackals at night. Sound travels. That's my version.
Yes. What you did not hear a man crying out in addition to screaming.
I only heard a man calling for help. That's all.
I remember when I read you the other statements,
Yeah.
you did not hear a man crying out loudly.
My lady, that's correct. I did not hear a man.
You did not hear screaming when you focused on the cell phone.
No, I was focusing to phone there. Yeah.
You did not hear screaming when you
Correct.
focused on the cell
Correct.
phone. Easy.
Yes.
Yes. You did not hear, on his version, a cricket bat hitting a door.
Lady, that's correct. I did not hear the cricket
Ma'am, I
bat.
put it to you that you made up your mind that his version could not be. You interpreted cricket bat shots to be gunshots and a screaming to be a woman screaming and not the accused. And if you didn't do that, his version would have made sense.
My lady, I don't see how that could make sense. I've never heard a cricket bat, but my brother once kicked the door down as a child doing karate, and I heard that. It was loud, but it wasn't a gunshot. What I heard was gunshots.
You're standing next to your brother.
I was in the passage. We were doing karate, so he
Not-
was running and he jumped.
Not 177 meters away.
No.
Did he break the door?
Yes, so there was a hole in the door.
Would you say that the cricket bat, the hard wood, would be the same as his kicking?
I'm not an expert at that, sir, but gunshots are very loud. Bashing a door for me is not so loud.
Yeah, just the last point about your experience with shots. You spoke about a driving range, but it's okay, it's shooting range. When did you go there?
Excuse me, I couldn't
When
hear.
did you go to the shooting range?
When did I go?
Yes.
It was quite a few years ago.
Give us an idea.
I can't say whether it was 5 or 7 years ago. It was numerous years ago. I don't enjoy guns.
Yes. And how many shots did you fire?
So that's totally irrelevant for me, milady. I didn't know whether it was 10 or 20 shots.
Can you remember or not?
No. It is an irrelevant event many years ago for me to shoot. I did not even put the bullets in. Someone did it for me. I don't like guns.
Yes. I understand when you go to a shooting range, they give you the protective hearing aid that you must put on. Did you put it on?
Yes, I did. When I shot, not when the other people shot.
So you had it on and then you stood next to someone else shooting. Did you take it off the hearing?
Milady, I understand the question. I understand the question. When I got out of the car, I did hear shooting without anything on my ears. So I know what shots sound like.
When you got out of it's in a closed shooting range because we know that.
No, sir, it was open. It was open area.
And then after that, what other shooting did you hear after the shooting?
Well, I was at that shooting range, as I explained, and once I was at a closed shooting range when I was younger, when someone else shot.
Yes.
And then my other experience is just I've heard gunshots at night in my life before.
But not when you live in this very safe area, just before that.
Yes, I've never heard it in Silver Stream. This is the first time I've heard shots in Silver
So
Stream.
just before 2011.
No, I've heard shots. The 14th of February 2013.
Yes, I'm not talking about that. Before.
No, I only moved in 2011.
So was the other shots that you heard, was it before 2011?
Yes. When in other areas that I lived.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the last time that you heard shots, Council, was before 2011.
Well, I didn't take notes of exactly when I was hearing shots, but I did definitely not hear any shots while I was sleeping in Silver Street. That's the only shots I heard, and I cannot comprehend any other time in that period that I heard shots. So it must have been before.
Yes. Thank you, my lady. I have no further questions.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
As good pieces. Madam, just want to do things. Do you know how heavy a cricket bat would be?
My brother used to have a cricket bat, so I've played with a cricket bat before.
And you played hockey, am I right?
No, I'm more into netball. I was into netball.
Sorry. Now, if you think about your brother's cricket bat, and you want to break down a door, how would you do that? How would you do that?
How would I break down the door?
Yeah, with the cricket bat.
The lady, I would take the bat and I would swing it back and I would hit.
So you'll swing the bat back and you'll hit the door.
Yes, if I wanted to try and...
And if you want to hit it again?
I would take it back again
and hit it again.
Yeah.
And if you want to hit it again?
I would try and do the same thing again, over and over.
Just explain to us the shots you heard. How was the sequence?
It was bang, 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 bang.
So,
there was a
madam,
longer...
With this bang, 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 would it have been possible for somebody to wield a cricket bat at that pace? Possible to take a bat and hit it bang, bang, bang?
Oh, no. Not the second and the third and the fourth. I don't
Not the second, the third and the
so.
fourth. Then, madam, the statement you made. There are two things. The first thing first, your emotions at the time of making a statement. How did you experience it?
It was quite raw still.
It was quite
Raw, the emotion.
a raw emotion. And would Captain van Aert have seen your emotions?
He witnessed it.
What did he witness?
It was awful to hear a shout before the shots.
Madam, I know that you're emotional now. This is almost done. I'm going to ask you one more question, and I also want to get you out of there. I really also want to. So, how did you express your emotions when Captain van Aert took down your statement?
I told him everything I heard. And then I said to him, it's very difficult for me. When I'm in the shower, I relive her shouts.
You said to him that when you're in the shower, you relive the shouts.
Her terrifying screams.
And now, how are you coping?
I'm coping fine.
Then,
it's been a year.
Then the last issue, madam, where you made your statement that you have in your hands or see your husband's statement.
I didn't hear that.
Did you have in your hands or see your husband's statement?
No, my lady, I didn't.
I have nothing further.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Berger, thank you very much for your assistance. You may step down.
Thanks, my lady.
It's the court, my lady. And it says, as I call the next witness, is Estelle van der Merwe. Before the witness comes in, I seek the same order. We've put the name on the list of the witnesses that would not want to be televised and or still photographs taken and or published. And she is number 6, my lady, on the list of witnesses.
Yes, before you even swear the witness in.
Hold on.
Before you do that, I wish to make an order that no photograph of this witness may be televised or published in any form. Thank you very much. Yes, you may swear the witness in.
Mevrouw, wat is de volle naam van?
Christel van der Merwe.
Christel van der Merwe was the name of the witness, my lady. Het u enige verzwaar om die afgestuurde eet af te nemen?
Ja.
Doesn't have any objection in taking the prescribed code. Dus gooi dit als bindend op je geweten. Als het zo is, steek je rechterhand op en sê, zweer je dat die getuienis uit je gaan leveren, die waarheid gaan lezen, die hele waarheid, niks anders dan die waarheid niet. Steek je rechterhand op en sê, zo help me God.
Zo help my God.
Witness is sworn in, my lady.
Thank you very much. You may be seated if you so wish. Yes, Ms. Sinel.
As the court pleases, my lady. Madam, where do you live?
Mevrouw, waar is u woonachtig?
In Silverwoods en 180.
In Silverwoods in 180.
Madam, the accused in this matter, Mr. Oscar Pistorius, did you know him?
Mevrouw, het u die was te lachen voor u of Oscar Pistorius gekend?
Nee.
No.
Have you ever met him?
Het u hem ooit ontmoet?
Nee.
No.
Madam, this court case is about an incident that happened on the evening of 13 to 14 February 2013. You know that?
Hulle sê die gebeurtenis is oor die voorval wat op die 13de na die 14de van Februarie plaasgevind het. Weet u daarvan?
Ja.
Yes.
Now, on the 13th of February, who was at your house?
Op die 13de van Februarie, wie was by u huis?
Net my man en my kind en ek.
My husband, my child, and myself. Moet daar te praat, nee.
And anything special happened on the evening of the 13th of February?
Is daar enig iets spesiaals wat op die aan van die 13de van Februarie plaasgevind?
Nee.
No.
So, at what time did you go to bed?
Hoe laat het u bed toe gegaan, mevrouw?
So 9 uur se kant.
Around 9 o'clock, my lady.
If you say that you went to bed about 9 and your husband and child, what did they do?
En wat van die man en kind?
Hulle het ook gaan slaap.
They also went to bed.
Then something happened during that night.
Dat is iets wat gedurende die aan plaasgevind het, nee.
Ja.
Yes.
Please tell the court what happened.
Sê asseblief die hof wat het plaasgevind.
Ek het die oggend 1:56 wakker geword
Just a moment.
56. Ja.
met geluide wat klink soos iemand wat hard praat of wat beklei.
My lady, I woke up around 1:56 in the morning. I heard sounds. It seemed like somebody was involved in a fight, on a bekleierery of what?
Luid hard praat.
And these people are talking in loud voices, my lady.
Dit aangehou vir ongeveer 'n uur.
It lasted for about an hour.
Ek kon nie hoor wat die persoon sê
I couldn't hear what this person was saying.
en ek kon ook nie hoor wat se taal die persoon praat nie.
And I also couldn't understand in what language this person was talking.
Relax. Sorry, my lady. The witness is terribly tense. May I just get her to relax, my lady? Madam,
Please relax. Take your time.
Gaat u tekenen?
You sure you can do that?
Ja, als je dit kan doen. Zou je dit kunnen doen? Ja. I'll be able to make it, my lady.
Madam, let's carry on. You said it lasted for about an hour. That's
Okay, ons gaan voeren dat het op ongeveer een uur gedurende doet.
Before you go on, how did you experience it? What did you do?
Voor je nog voor het gaan, hoe het u dat ervaren? Wat heb u te doen?
Ek was baie geïrriteerd daarmee want ek moes slaap, my seentjie sou begin het met eksamen.
Okay. My lady, I was irritated by that because I was supposed to go. I was supposed to sleep, seeing that my boy was supposed to sit for his exams shortly.
Yeah. So you say you were irritated by it, and what did you do?
En toen wat heb je daarmee gedaan toen je geïrriteerd was?
Ek het maar net soms een keer 'n kussing op my kop gesit met die hoop dat ek weer kan slaap.
At some stage, I placed a pillow on top of my head with the hope of falling asleep once more, or again, my lady.
Op 'n stadium het ek opgestaan om te kyk of ek iets kan sien.
At some stage, I woke up, being under the impression that wanting to see if there is something that I could see.
Maar ek het uitgekyk aan die kant van farm in.
But I looked out towards the side of farm in.
Ek het niks gesien nie en ek het weer teruggeklim in die bed.
Still, I couldn't see anything, my lady. I then went back to bed again.
Om ongeveer 3 uur se kant het ek 4 plofgeluide gehoor.
And around about 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard 4 gunshots. 4 gunshots, my lady. It's weird.
Plof is thud sounds, not gunshots. She said plofgeluide. It's interpreted gunshots. It's really not.
I don't know what to call it.
I do not know what to call it, my lady. As the witness says, she says she also doesn't know what to call it.
I agree with Mr. Roo that what was said was plofgeluide.
More like bomb shots.
Exploding sound.
Explosion shots, something like that, my lady. Because the witness also says she doesn't know what to refer them to.
Madam?
Let's just get it, sorry.
It's thud.
It's?
Plofgeluide is a thud. T-H-U-D. It's not an explosive sound.
Yes, Mr. Nat.
But I'll carry on.
Yes, but shouldn't we be clear what the witness is trying to say?
I will clear that up.
Yes.
I think with more questions we could perhaps clear that up. Madam, please explain the best you can what you heard. The 4 sounds. What was it?
Mevrou, probeer asseblief die beste om dit mooi te verduidelik. Watter tipe geluide was dit wat u gehoor het?
Ek het van Mike gevra, Mike van haar gevra klink wat is die beste naam om te beskryf?
My lady, I inquired from Mr. Mike van Aert as to how can I best explain the sounds I heard.
En hy het vir my gesê dit is plofgeluide.
And he said it was more like thud shots.
But that's fine. Tell us what you told him, Captain van Aert. What did you hear?
Sê ons wat u hom gesê het. Wat het u vir Kaptein van Aert gesê?
Ek het vir hom gesê ek het 4 geluide gehoor wat ek weet nie hoe om dit te beskryf nie.
I told him that I had 4 sounds, but I do not know how to describe them.
En hy het vir my gesê jy noem dit plofgeluide.
And he said to me, you call them thud shots.
Now, the 4 shots you heard, if you sit now and think back, what did you hear?
Die 4 geluide wat u gehoor het, as u nou sit en terugdrink. Wat was het?
Bedoel,
watter tipe geluide was het?
What did you hear?
Wat het u gehoor?
Just tell the court what you heard.
Sê my die wat het u gehoor?
Dit klink soos moet ek tipe geluid beskryf?
It sounded like, do you want me to describe the sound?
If you can.
As jy dit kan doen, mevrou.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, as she says it, my lady. That's the best I can do.
Now, I know it goes back a long while, and I just want you to, if you can, to explain to the court, if you heard the sounds, you said bang, bang, carry on and just tell us the 4 sounds in the sequence that you heard. What did it sound like?
Sê ons nou verduidelik nou in die manier hoe jy die geluide gehoor het.
Dit van waar ek geleë het, dit nogal kort op mekaar geklink.
From where I was sleeping, my lady, they were shortly one after the other.
Good. Now, the arguments that you heard, or the voices, let me rather say, the voice you heard, what happened to that?
Wat het van die stemme geword wat jy gehoor het?
Nadat ek die 4 skote gehoor het,
After hearing the four sounds,
daar was absolute stilte.
there was total silence, my lady.
What happened then after that?
Wat het daarna plaasgevind?
Nadat ek die 4 skote gehoor het, het ek gehoor my man word wakker.
After I heard the 4 shots, I heard my husband waking up.
Ek het hom gevra wat maak so en hy het vir my gesê dit is geweerskote.
I then asked him what was doing there. My lady, I'll put it literally as a witness says it. And what say he?
Dit is geweerskote.
He then said those were firearm sounds or gunshots, to be more precise, my lady.
Yes, and
And
what happened then?
En toe wat het daarna gebeur het?
My man het toe opgestaan en hy het by die venster gaan uitkyk,
My husband then woke up. He then looked out of the window,
maar hy het niks gesien nie.
but he couldn't see anything.
Hy het toe teruggeklim in die bed.
He then went back to bed.
Hy het toe ons 'n commotion gehoor
We then heard a commotion, as she says it in English, my lady.
en ekskuus.
No, please relax. Take your time. It's really important that we get your version.
Vat maar net die tyd. Dis baie belangrik wat ons hier weergawe kan hoor. Nee.
Are you fine?
Sal jy kan voort?
May I just ask the witness if she's fine, my lady?
Yes.
Is you alright?
May I just ask the witness
Yes,
if she's
yes,
still
yes,
fine?
Yes.
Is you alright?
Ja. Ek is
Are you fine?
She says she's fine, my lady.
Okay. So you heard a commotion and what then?
Okay, toe
My
hoor jy
man
nou
het
die
toe die
commotion.
sekuriteit geskakel om te hoor wat aangaan.
My husband then called the security just to hear as to what was happening.
Ek kan nie mooi onthou wat die tye wat ek kan nie meer kan nie mooi die tyd onthou nie en ek kan nie mooi onthou wat toe daarna gebeur het maar
Okay.
voor
My lady, I can't recall the exact time anymore and as to what happened afterwards. But shortly after that,
toe hoor ek iemand wat baie hard huil.
I then heard somebody who was crying out loud.
The okay, you heard somebody crying.
Ek hoor
Right.
iemand heel hard en toe.
Ek het my man gevra wie huil so
I then asked my husband as to who was crying like that.
en hy het vir my gesê dis Oscar
He then said it was Oscar.
want dit het vir my geklink soos 'n vrou se stem.
Because to me it seemed like a woman's voice.
Ek
Did your husband ever leave the room?
Het jy iemand in die kamer uitgestaan?
ek kan nie onthou nie.
I really can't remember.
Now, let us just go back. We'll carry on from here. You said you heard a voice that irritated you.
Jy sê dit stem gehoor wat jy irriteer het.
Now, were you able to say if that was a man or a woman's voice?
Was
Just-
jy staat om te kan hoor of wat 'n vrou of 'n man
Just hold on
stem
once, I'm not sure.
A man or a woman's voice, my lady.
The voice that irritated her.
That irritated her, yes. That you heard before the shooting. Before the
She didn't say voices.
The only voice.
One voice.
one voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
'n vrouens stem. My lady, I just said a woman's voice.
Yeah.
Moet ek
Yes,
aangaan?
yes,
Maar
please
sy was
do.
nie-
Op die stadium het ek opgestaan en ek het by die venster gaan uitkyk en ek het baie voertuie
Okay, at some stage I also got up, proceeded towards the window, looked through the window, and saw many vehicles.
en 'n ambulans voor Oscar se huis
Excuse?
en 'n ambulans voor Oscar se huis.
As well as an ambulance in front of Oscar's house.
My man het later die oggend vir die sekuriteit geskakel en hulle gehoor wat gaan aan.
My husband called the security company late in the morning just to ascertain from them as to what was happening.
En hulle het hom gesê Oscar het sy vriendin geskiet.
That's when they told him that Oscar shot his friend.
Madam, there's a file in front of you. Would you just open that at Exhibit F? You'll see it's marked in red.
In red.
On the side.
Oh. Yes, sir.
And in Exhibit F, would you please page to slide 920. 920.
What was that?
Madam, on that's an aerial photograph. Are you able to identify your house on it?
Yes.
Can you see him again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
What one is it?
180.
The 181, my lady.
There would, yeah, where it's written 180, is that yours?
Was it easy? Yeah.
And the accused house?
En die was gelaten size?
Dit is 287. Ja.
The 371.
Nee, dis nie hy nie. Dit is Enterprise na Oscar. Ek weet nie of dit 387.
No, it's not 37, my lady. With the arrow pointed,
O,
it was the house.
Ja, dis
It's Oscar's house.
Is that his house?
Dus I say yes.
Did you know you were staying in that house?
Heb je
that
geweten,
evening?
Breda?
Ja.
Yes.
Would you turn to photograph 933? Can you recognize that?
Heb je niet gelezen, hoor? Yes.
What is that?
Wie zei ze dat?
Dit is ons huis.
Our house.
And 934?
Yes.
What is that, ma'am?
Wat hier is het?
Dit is die balkon van ons huis.
This is the balcony of our house.
And the little red arrow, what does that indicate?
Dis Oscar se huis.
This is Oscar's house, Marie.
And 935?
Dis Oscar se huis.
Oscar's house.
With the arrow.
Ja.
And the balcony?
And the balcony.
Dis ons huis.
Our house.
Now, you were inside the house and in the main bedroom when you heard the voice.
In die slaapkamer toe jy die stemme gehoor het, né? Yes.
And do you have windows in your bedroom?
Was daar vensters in die slaapkamer?
Ja.
Yes.
Were they open or closed?
Was dit toe of oop?
Ek kan nie vir jou sê nie want my man maak dit oop.
My lady, I can't respond to that question because my husband is the one who opens and closes the windows.
Now, after this incident, did it happen that you've heard voices at night again?
Na die voorval er gebeurde dat die weer stemme gedurende die aand gehoor.
I'm so sorry to object. It's not my style. I'm worried about the question that happened that you had voices again. Whilst I understand the corrected evidence was that you had a voice. So I failed to link the voices again to any evidence. There was incorrectly stated voices, but it was corrected.
I will be careful and I'll rephrase. After this incident, did you hear a voice
Na die voorval het jy 'n stem gehoor
at night again?
in die aand.
Is dit nou jy praat nie nou van enige ander tyd?
Yes.
Are
Any
you
other?
referring to any other time? Ja.
Ja.
Yes, I did.
When was that?
En wanneer was het?
Ek het die oggend van die 21ste Februarie het ek wakker geword. Ek het nie op die horlosie gekyk my man se horlosie.
On the morning of the 21st of February, I woke up in the morning. I didn't look at the watch, want die man het die horlosie gehad.
Ja, hy is in my huis.
Because the watch was in my husband's possession.
En daar was 'n voor sy klokhorlosie was sy waterbottel.
And next to his stock, there was a water bottle.
Ek het iets geklink wat klink soos mans wat hard praat of beklei.
I had voices, male voices. It seems as they were talking loud, and it seemed as if they were involved in a fight.
Ek het uitgekyk aan die kant van farm 1.
I looked towards the side of the family.
Ek het niks gesien nie
I couldn't see anything.
en ek het omgestap na die kant van waar Oscar se huis is.
I then proceeded towards the side where our car was situated.
En ek het deur die venster gekyk en ek het ligte aangesien by Oscar se huis.
I looked through the window. That's when I saw lights at Oscar's house.
En dit was donker, so ek is nie seker oor die voertuig nie, maar dit gelyk soos 'n wit SUV wat voor die huis staan.
It was dark, my lady, but I'm not sure about, is nie seker hoe die clearly, about the color of the motor vehicle, but it seemed like a white SUV. Waar was het geparkeerd?
Voor Oscar se huis.
Standing next to Oscar's house.
Dit het geklink soos twee persone wat met mekaar argumenteer.
It seemed like two persons who were arguing with each other.
Ek is dit het nie vir baie lank aangehou nie,
Well, it didn't last for very long,
maar ek het besluit ek gaan voor die venster staan en kyk of ek iemand sien.
but I decided that I'll go and stand next to the window just to see if I can see a certain person or a person.
Ek het 'n manspersoon sien die sy huis verlaat
I then saw a male person leaving his house
en ek het weer teruggeklim in die bed.
and then went back to bed again.
Man, you said it was the 21st of February, am I
He
right?
said it was op die 21ste van Februari.
Ja.
Yes, in the morning.
If you say in the morning, were you still sleeping?
Was hy nog geslaap? Was hy in die oggend?
Ja, ek het wakker geword van die stemme.
The voices woke me up, my lady.
Now, you said 21st of February of which year?
Watter jaar was het?
2014,
2014. Een jaar.
hierdie jaar.
Dat zie je.
On this particular, on the first instance in 2013, how many voices did you hear of how many people?
Op die eerste voorval wat in 2013 plaasgevind het, hoeveel stemmen heb je gehoord?
Net een.
Only one.
And you've already identified, I just want to make sure, and was that a male or a female voice?
Was het een vrouw of een mansstem?
Dit vrouenstem.
It was a female's voice.
And op 21st, and the 21st of February 2014, you heard, was it the male or a female voice?
En op die 21ste van februari was het een vrouw of mansstem. It was male person's voices.
Now, on the first occasion, 14 February 2013, did you know where those voices were, that voice were coming from?
Nou,
Op die 13e het hij geweet waar vandaan en hij stem vandaan komt. Nou,
Yeah. But in February 2014, you know where it came.
maar wie weet waar vandaan dat komt het in die jaar niet.
ja,
Yes.
And it came from?
Waar
Oscar
vandaan?
se huis.
From Oscar's house.
Now, Madam, I just want us to just go back and just think about the voice you heard,
Hoeveel keer moet je terug en denk aan die stem wat je hoorde?
2013.
In 2013.
You said you heard it from what time?
Hoe laat ongeveer was het toen je die stem hoorde?
Van 1:56 af toe ek wakker geword het.
From around 1:56 when I woke up, my lady.
Can you explain to the court what you heard? Was it talk and a stop and talk and a stop, or how did you experience it?
Wat did you hoor? Was het een gepraterij en een gestopperij en een gepraterij? Wat heb je gehoord?
Dit was Ek het
Yeah, no,
Just a
please.
minute.
dit was gepraat en gestop en gepraat en gestop. Het was nie aanhoudend nie.
Okay. This person was talking, stopping, talking, and it wasn't continuously.
Dit het vir my geklink waar ek geleë het soos twee persone wat met mekaar in 'n argument is.
To me, from where I was sleeping, my lady, it seems like two people who were involved in an argument.
Maar een persoon se stem kon ek nie hoor.
But I couldn't hear the other person's voice.
Now, in 2013, when you now heard the voices, and your husband woke up, did you tell him what you heard?
Nou in 2013, toe die stemme gehoor het, toe die man nou wakker word, het hy hom gesê wat hy gehoor het?
Nie onmiddellik nie.
No, not immediately, my lady.
Did you later?
Later?
Ek het hom later daarvan vertel omdat ek nie geweet het waar vandaan die
Oh. I told him later about that because I didn't know where those voices were coming from.
You said you knew that it was Mr. Oscar Pistorius' house. How did you know that?
He said that as he was Oscar Pistorius, he is with you.
want hy
You're talking about which date now?
In 2013, my lady.
Okay.
In 2013.
Wat in 2013 plaasgevind het. Hoe die geweer is hy is.
want ek het hy het altyd daar uitgetrek met sy BMW en hy het altyd vriendelik gegroet.
Because he always drove out in his white BMW and he greeted us in a friendly manner.
Well, like yesterday, and I won't make a habit of it, but it's 10 to 1 again. And I'm bringing the exact same application I did yesterday, my lady. If we could perhaps stand down and start 10 minutes earlier after the break.
I take it there's no objection. Court will adjourn.